The reverse mortgage scam! Scam, I tell ya. So I'm with this guy, Scott Schaefer. This is dude, this is such a joke of a video. Stealing grandma's home. Scott Schaefer, spelled S-H-A-F-E-R. Listen, if you're anti-reverse mortgage, you're a question of reverse mortgages, listen to his video. Listen to it. He will tell you how bad they are. He'll tell you, and then you're going to be like, wait, that's it? Exactly. That's it. That's it. You'll be like, wait, that's it? I could lose SSI? You know what SSI is? Supplemental security income. That's if you're really destitute. That's not Social Security. That's supplemental security income. No one on this channel is on SSI. I'm just telling you right now. I don't even know if it's true or not. He just says you could have your impact on government benefits. I don't know if that's true. But let's just say it is. Or it could affect your Medicaid. You know what Medicaid is? It's health insurance for indigent people. No one on this channel is on Medicaid. No one on this channel is on Medicaid. I mean, are there some people? Maybe. No one's on Medicaid. So let's just say that were to be true, that you could lose your SSI or Medicaid. That's not going to affect anyone on this channel. I'm sorry. And it's not going to affect that many people either, by the way, because the vast majority of people are on Social Security and on Medicare, not SSI or Medicaid. Just look at the numbers of people on SSI versus Social Security. The idea that this reverse mortgage is this big scam that's going to affect everybody. It's kind of like the idiots who say long-term care is going to destroy your retirement. There is a population size that is on long-term care and will spend the amount of money. That's a fact. That is not that's such a small minority that's just not even worth talking about. Because we know for a fact the vast majority of long-term care costs are paid by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. All right? We know this for a fact. This is not debatable. Thus, it's not out-of-pocket expense that many people have to pay for long-term care. Some do. I will never deny that. The vast majority of people don't pay that much money. It's just a fact. So to assume that reverse mortgages are a scam targeting grandma, and one of the negatives that could take away your SSI, which again, very few people are on. And I mean, I'm not even talking about, I think there's 7 million people on SSI. And I can almost assure you a significant portion of those people are under the age of 65 anyway. All right, I can almost guarantee you that. They're on Section 8 housing and whatnot, and they're also Medicaid. Oh, by the way, if they're under 62, they can't have a reverse mortgage anyway, at least a government-sponsored reverse mortgage. They can't. So when they say targeting grandma, they're targeting seniors' reverse mortgages. Well, the reason they do that is because that's what the law is. If you want a government-backed reverse mortgage, you got to be 62. This is so infantile, it's embarrassing to me. I hate this crap, dude. I hate it because I hate when people say it's a false dichotomy. It's either good or it's like a firearm. A firearm is neither good nor bad. It has no value at all. It doesn't do anything. It is a tool. A tool can be used for good or a tool can be used for bad, depending how the person uses the tool. A reverse mortgage is neither good nor bad. It's inherently not a scam because it can't be. It's an inanimate object. A reverse mortgage can be used badly and it can be used greatly. The people on my channel should be looking at reverse mortgages because they can be used very well. Whole life insurance along the lines too. Stocks can be used very well. It can be used very poorly. There's a million different inanimate objects that people can make mistakes on or use very, very well. The people on my channel, by and large, are engineers. Pretty smart people. These aren't idiots that are going to be on SSI or on friggin' Medicaid or going to have to give up their home to the government or the bank. So his biggest one, and he says it, this is the biggest problem with reverse mortgages. You might not leave any house to your kids. So your kids have 3 options when you die. They can sell the house, they can pay off the debt, or they can refinance a traditional mortgage. Okay. What's the option for your children when you die? They can add a 4th option in there, the same thing. They can sell, if you have a mortgage, they can sell the house, they can pay off the debt, they can refinance it. The 4th option is they can move in there. All right, are your kids going to move into your home? Yeah, some of you guys might. Could they still do that with reverse mortgage? Yes, they absolutely could. They'd have to pay it off. I mean, that's no different than having a regular mortgage. Oh my goodness. And then he's saying it makes your house a depreciating asset. How the hell can you possibly say that? It's so freaking dumb. A car is a depreciating asset, Scott. What's his name? Schaefer. You know why? Because a car loses value. You know what a reverse mortgage, what your house does? It increases in value. If nothing else, at least with the rate of inflation. Your house is still growing, most likely, and I would say yes, at a appreciate. Oh boy, I'm getting behind this guy. Yep. Dude, these truck drivers, they're freaking legends, dude. If you guys are running over the road truck, well, this guy's not over there. I don't think he's over the road. But if you guys are running these big rigs and these tight slots like this, you guys are freaking ass kicking. Freaking love you guys, man. Love you guys, especially the Americans. Yeah, American truck drivers, I love. Big fan. The foreign truck drivers, not so much. You know what I'm saying, you Ruskies out there. We know what you're doing on these roads. Anyway, so this guy, he's sitting there saying, makes your house a depreciating asset. That means my house that's worth $100,000 is worth $97,000 tomorrow or next year, whatever, because I lost money on it. You know, I just did a video on this just the other day. I showed you, as a matter of fact. The reverse mortgage at 7.5%, your house at 3% rate of return, your house is still appreciating in value because your house is worth, for simplicity, $100,000. The max you can take on a reverse mortgage, we'll say $40,000, all right? So that 7.5% interest on $40,000 is cost you, we'll say for simplicity, $3,000. All right, that 3% interest you're getting on the $100,000. Wait, 7% on 40,000? No, it's not even $3,000. Whatever that is, we'll just say $3,000. Just say keep it even, Steven. That 3% you're getting on $100,000 also grows at 3%. All right, so you got 103. You got the same net worth as you did after that in that case, even though you're a depreciating asset. How can it be depreciating? This is worst case scenario. A lot of reverse mortgages you can't even borrow 40%. It depends on how old you are and whatnot. And I'm also not doing the numbers exactly. But if I have a 7.5% loan against a $40,000 reverse mortgage, it's costing me roughly $3,000 a year. If I have a 3% appreciation on my house, I'm gaining $3,000 a year. And as such, guess what? I am making still my breaking even on my net worth. Inherently, I did not have a depreciating amount. Now you can say, well, compounding it does. Yeah, at some point, it will compound highly enough where you're losing equity in your home. That's a fact. But losing equity is not the same as having lost all your equity, Scott Schaefer. It's just not even close to it. In fact, whoa, dude, what are you doing? All right, well, they're doing all kinds of road work here on Route 9, Forsyth County, which is good because this road sucks donkey balls. But anyway, so at some point, yes, you could have a drain on your equity in your house with a reverse mortgage. It's going to take many years for that to happen, for sure. And, if you have a depreciating asset in your house that loses value, guess what? That will happen. Oh, you think reverse mortgage is what causes your house to lose value? Really? You think the reverse mortgage is what made your equity go down? I mean, it could. 20 years or so, sure. What makes equity in your house fall apart? Oh, MS-13 moving in. The freaking liberals putting all kinds of legal immigrants in your neighborhood. That would make your equity fall a hell of a lot quicker than your reverse mortgage. Oh, by the way, how long does it take for your upside down and reverse mortgage? How long? I just want to see Scott Schaefer say, how long is it? I usually don't call people up. This pissed me off. How long does it take for the equity? I'd love to see Scott Schaefer run the numbers and show me how long it takes from upside down in my home. All right. And if Scott Schaefer's going to say 7.5% mortgage, 0% appreciation on the value of my home, that's just silly. All right. Let's be honest here. At the end of the day, you could be upside down in your house, but it's probably going to take 30 years or so, without question. And that's only giving you a 3% appreciation on your home. Some of these houses are going to appreciate more and more and more than that. Why? Because they're in good neighborhoods like where I live. Also because the housing supply is way down, way down. The demand is way high because all the illegals and all the immigrants as a whole. And as such, you have huge demand, low supply. What does that do for prices on a home? Yes, it does. It increases them 100%. Now, again, the drawback is you could be living in a place like where my wife was raised, which is run over by immigrants, and that makes the real estate go down. Hopefully that's not you. But the idea that the reverse mortgage is a way to target grandma to lose her house is just stupid. First of all, grandma will never be losing her house, first and foremost, all right? Grandma doesn't lose her house. All right, so she can always be in there as long as she's alive. So let's stop this freaking sanity. Part 2 of this is that, yes, grandma might not be able to leave a house to her heirs. That's just a fact. But guess what? Guess what? Do the heirs, A, want the house to begin with? All right, so that's a big thing. B, if grandma's on the risk of losing out of money, don't you think the heirs would say, hey, grandma, we'd rather you sell that house and retain some of the cash value off that as opposed to being broke that you're basically on our payroll? All right, don't you think so? Or they can say, hey, grandma, we want you to move in with us. That's fine, too. How many kids are going to do that with grandma? Probably not that many. So grandma doesn't lose her house. Part 3 is grandma can spend down the money even if she's upside down. The kids are not obligated to retain the debt. They can leave it just like that. They say, I'm walking away from this. It's the bank's upside down. Sucks to be the bank. However, a lot of times the reverse mortgage won't be like that because grandma probably won't live until she's 95. And as such, the earliest she can take reverse mortgage is 62. All right, so for her to really be upside down, she's got to have a long life. How many grandmas are living until they're 92? Not that many. Not that many. So as such, the likelihood that grandma's going to be upside down in her house is not very high. And as such, she's probably still going to leave some equity to her kids when she dies, even if she had a reverse mortgage. That's just a fact. So let's stop the nonsense there. What's the name? Scott Schaefer. Stop saying reverse mortgages are scams. They're not. At the end of the day, it's a tool just like my AR-15s, just like my Glocks, just like my shotguns. I got a 12 and a 20 gauge shotgun. They're tools that can be used badly. They're tools that can be used well. And for most people, at least here on my channel, my friends, they need to look at reverse mortgages as a tool that can be used well. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But don't listen to these freaking scare people. It drives me crazy. All right, God bless.